Morning all. How are we all doing? Happy, where are we? Thursday. Post FOMC fallout day. Morning Ian, morning Peter, JC, Andrew, Monkey, Day Trader, Danny, Figinia. How we doing? Morning Kennelly, Gregors, Damo. Sounds like somebody from Grain Chill. Morning Martin, James, Stevie. How we doing? Right, let's kick off with news. Sorry, going one third. Just got the terminal up properly. What am I doing? I'm not even on the right layout. I need to be in Frankfurt. Sorry, one sec. Oh God, MT5 just takes forever. When you're ready, MT5. Oh, thank you. Why make people use an inferior platform? Overnight news wasn't an awful lot last night. We've had an awful lot of earnings. The earnings last night was probably the biggest aftermarket earnings we've had in earnings fortnight. So we've had Etsy, Lemonade, Liberty, MicroStrategy, Mondelez, PayPal, Qualcomm, Roku, Airbnb, loads. We've got lots of pre-market this morning as well. So it's the last big day of the earnings fortnight today. We've got some post-market today, which is basically going to mainly revolve around Apple and Shopify and Coinbase as well. They're very big now. So lots of earnings overnight, which have all been flying past on here. Lots of hits, lots of misses, so quite a mixed bag. So there'll be a lot of movement in the stock indices today, all over the place, really. There'll be lots of sector purchasing going on, so I expect we'll probably get a fairly decent movement at the open. There's not a lot of other overnight news. We've had the Australian housing stuff and trade balance overnight. A US destroyer and Canadian frigate transited the Taiwan Strait on November the 1st. Thanks for that. Japan sold some yen. No more news from Japan overnight about the US movement against the yen. So there's nothing really overnight to report back on today. This morning we've had CPI for the Swissy, which came out as expected. So no change, no news there. I haven't actually had a look at the Swiss this morning, see what that's up to. We've got an ADR on New Zealand dollar CAD. Swiss franc. So look at CAD Swiss. So there's no movement really off of that by the looks of things. That's the news. So yeah, nothing exciting off of that. Today's main news is at 12 o'clock. So it's the Bank of England rate today. We are expecting a 5.25. There is a 50-50 shot of a 5.5 today. Our inflation isn't coming down as fast as expected. No countries is. It's a bit worrying, but there is a possibility of a 5.5, so there could be a big move in the pound today at 12 o'clock. So we will see what happens, but today there is an opportunity for a change, but we'll see. Bailey speaking at 12:30, so this is where we're going to get our forward guidance. I would expect him to come out and say exactly the same as everybody else, exactly the same as the Fed did last night. Yeah, if it goes up, we'll do this. If it goes down, we'll do that. We know this. So they're not giving any information away, not really because they don't want to, because they haven't got a bloody clue. No one can at the moment because everything's all up in the air. So we've got unemployment claims at 12:30 for the US. So there's your news today. Last night's FOMC, we got the rate as expected. The Fed were mixed, a little bit more downbeat, I think, than previous. So we have come very far with this rate hike cycle and close to the end of the cycle, hinting that it's not quite going as well as we thought. We might actually need to put the rates up again. There was a couple of statements in here. Not thinking about rate cuts. We are not, there we go, that's the one with the chart. We are not confident policy is sufficiently restrictive, i.e. we're not confident we've got on top of inflation. Even with all these massive hikes we've done, we're not sure it's enough. So it's slightly more hawkish, but there was an awful undercurrent of doom as well. It's just, I don't know, it's just a very mixed bag, which is what we basically seem to be getting at the moment. So there's your news. DAX today. We have a small gap up this morning. Indices rallying off the back of the US drop yesterday. It's a very small pen. So we had an index rally yesterday off of the US news. We've broken out of this 2-week range now. So that gap fill there, what we popped up and did, we've actually gapped up above that propulsion gap as well. So the next stop really to the upside is ADR today, which is this double bottom. We came down, we haven't really retested that area properly. So I would suspect probably somewhere around about 3/4 of an ADR upside, you're going to start to find some sell restriction. And yesterday's low, which is way beyond ADR today. So if we're going to go south, it's immediately a gap fill bounce we've got to watch for. And then basically all the way down, pretty much to ADR. We got this little level of support, but way beyond ADR is yesterday's low. So there's tons of room in both directions, really. But the gap fill is the main worry to the downside. So if we break short today, we may sell straight into support, which bounces. Look at the last 3 days. Yeah, we're on a bull run at the moment. So we need to be a little careful with shorts today. 45 seconds to the open. I've banked a little bit this morning. What have I banked this morning? I have banked US dollar Swiss this morning. So my target on US dollar Swiss was kind of just in this little accumulation here. We were really close to it, so I just decided to get out. It's in this propulsion gap. So I've exited US dollar Swiss, straight in, out. That's a Tuesday to Thursday, straight in, out. And I also banked New Zealand dollar, US dollar. So the rest of that, got out of the rest of that this morning. So that's done. Blimey. Whoa. Sorry, just missed the open. I don't think I'm going to get that on today. Oh, yeah, I'm long. Wow. Sorry. Ooh, bit late on that. Jeez, I just got in really, really late on that. So you can see the slippage, yeah? That's where I asked for my order. That's where I got it executed. Big slippage this morning. That move was really fast. So long on the DAX. That's a horrible entry you got on both of these platforms. Don't like that at all. Hate getting slipped. Got him way too late on the DAX. That's a massive hedge today. I don't like this at all. That's way too big. I'm going to be a bit cautious for this today. That's a big hedge potentially today. For God's sake, MT5. I hate MT5. Just get rid of it. Yeah, so nice big slip this morning on that bullish move. I get the feeling we're going to get hedged today because we're going to do this gap fill. It's too close. So I might have to deal with hedge on this morning. Morning, everybody else. Haven't said morning to, whoever they are. I think I got to Stevie. Morning, Evans. Yotko. It's time. Leshy. Christian. Outro. Mine's put in a buy limit. Yeah, so basically, if that was above price, it will trigger a buy limit, which you are now triggered in long anyway. So, meh. FTSE is breaking out the highs, which is good. So the only reason I'm looking at the FTSE is basically to try and help the DAX along. Gives you any clue to sector purchases which are going on. But DAX is that was just one massive order that came in really fast there. FTSE's really rallying though, so we've got a chance today. I just got in really late on that entry. It's a terrible entry. I mean, basically, literally, my entry's here. Awful. Manual trading. That's why we do it automatic. Yeah, if you're going to get slipped, you get a little bit of slippage. If you try and do it manually, that is the equivalent of $240 of miss. I've only got to do 1,000 to pass that evaluation. So a quarter of my daily target, I've just basically thrown out the window by manually executing my trades instead of letting an EA do it. Meh. So yeah, so that's what I banked this morning, 0.3%. Oil's messing about a lot. So ADRs today, we've only got one to look at. We'll quickly do that while we're waiting for that opening cash balance to go in. New Zealand dollar CAD is an ADR hit today. That literally went straight to ADR, came straight off of ADR this morning. Gave you a reverse. It's a tight, super tight. Look at that. That is textbook. ADR to the pip. Very, very, very clear M pattern reversal. Doesn't get any more. If I was going to deliver a lesson on ADR and market reversal alerts, there it is. That is exactly what you're looking for. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen very often. But yeah, so that's the only ADR hit today. This New Zealand dollar, obviously we've had a nice rally on the New Zealand dollar over the last day or so. So we'll see where we go with that one, but it's due a pullback. The US dollar at the moment, obviously we had a nice big weak move off of the FOMC yesterday for the US. So pound US, euro US, all getting a nice little rally. It's starting to undo a little bit, so it's losing a little bit of that weakness. US dollar yen came down nicely. Remember I said, and I put this in writing in the Telegram group, as this move was underway, I said in writing in the Telegram group, you can go and check this. Within 48 hours, we will do a 50% retracement on that move. It's almost as if I have a crystal ball powered by John Wick. If you don't believe me, there's the evidence. So there you go. There's your 50% retracement. So if this is going to be a new leg, and we are going to need an intervention by the Japanese, this is where we're going to do it from. So today is critical in deciding whether or not the Japanese are going to need to do something about this US dollar yen move, or it's naturally now going to play out. Whenever you get to the end of a trend, you will often find a very big move. I'm going to try and find something else that's been trending. Euro US. So when you get to the end of a trend, you often find there's a big order that comes in, which is an exhaustion move. So you get an ADR, 150 ADR day, maybe a little bit more sometimes. And it's basically the market trying a new leg and running out of people willing to buy to them. So what they have to do is they have to reach a little bit further to get their orders filled, which means that you get a bigger candle because they're going to find buyers at a further distance because no one else is willing to buy because everyone's been rolled over so much. They're like, no, I'm not interested anymore, mate. And you get this big end to the move. So with the US dollar yen, obviously we've had a very big, strong move to the upside. So this could be the last point where we start now to break that structure back down again. But we will wait and see. You know, it's just, we don't know. But certainly we do know that we are literally yesterday a quarter of an ADR away from the previous October intervention. So, you know, if this does decide it wants to put a new leg in, everyone's buying this. Look, all the trend traders are buying this support bounce. They're either going to get run over, flip short, and we're going to get an A-shaped recovery, in which case then we can collapse from it, or we're not. We'll have to wait and see. And if we do push to the upside, obviously then the intervention is on the table for the Japanese. DAX has just broken to the upside. Thank God. So targets on this. It's difficult today. So we're basically in an accumulation where basically this was a rotation day. So we had no directional bias that day. So equilibrium between buyers and sellers. Sellers then won. So we're basically anywhere in here. It's impossible to know what's going to happen today. There's no obvious level that we're going to try and reach for to find limit orders. So anywhere in here. Obviously, this high here is the obvious spot today. So we know that they were selling that level, which is basically around about 3.5R. So 2R target, nice and easy. 3.5R, I'd be watching for price action, maybe for getting out the second half. But we'll see. There's a lot of stocks announced earnings yesterday, so we could see movement in any direction really today. We had loads of buys, loads of sells yesterday, or loads of hits and misses rather. So market's selling off. FTSE's not interested at all in going higher. Let's just see what the US is up to. No, we haven't got any buyers today. See where we go. There's not a lot of strength. Morning, Darren. US dollar yen drop. Yeah. So far. US dollar yen, you said yesterday, 50% retrace. Yeah. Yesterday I said it, didn't I, in the live room? And but I was just reiterating what I said the day before. Mystic Meg. See? It's normal. It's just what happens. Nothing clever. I've just seen it happen many times in the past, as everybody has. Morning, Neo. Forex doesn't have the FTSE CFD. No. So I'm trading on the funded account. I love your name. Funded in a week. I've been funded in 24 hours. Beat you. Right. There's not a lot of legs on this, so we'll come back to that in a minute. It's either going to run out of steam up here and we're just going to fall back and gap fill, or we will just grind today. So we'll see how we get on. Keep an eye on it over there. I just need to set a TP on it, actually. Sorry. 2R is 100. It's a 3-week low coming up there. That's 2R. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to set my TPs on that account to that level, because that's basically a pass on the evaluation. So let me just put that in place. Take profit. 5067. There we go. So I'm targeting that exactly where it is there. I'm taking both positions off over there because that's an evaluation pass, basically. So that'll be done. So pray to the German DAX gods to rally us up to 2R today. I'm not holding out much hope today, to be honest. But anyway, right, so there's ADR today. We've only got one, New Zealand dollar CAD. That's the only ADR. Lots of weekly hits. We're on Thursday. These are all big extensions. We've had a lot of movement today, this week. Most of it being on the yen. Get back. There we go. So yeah, so we'll see where we go today. There's obviously news at 12 o'clock. So the probability today is that the markets will kind of rotate until lunchtime because they're not going to want to do a lot until we've had Bailey speaking about where we're going with the pound next. And they want to know whether or not they need to push money into or pull money out of the pound today. So unlikely we're going to get a big movement in the next 3 hours. But once we've got that rate out the way and we've had Bailey's speech, we'll get that movement this afternoon. So I wouldn't expect a lot today. So RSIs, there's quite a few RSIs to look at. A lot of this is Aussie based because we had the New Zealand dollar move yesterday. So Aussie, New Zealand really cracked on yesterday. So there's plenty of 4-hour RSI extensions to look at. There's only a couple of hourlies. DAX is pulling back down. I'm just going to, sorry, I've just got to adjust this order. I'm just moving my hedge up. This is not normal. Yeah, but it's just I got such a bad entry over there. So this high, pre-market high here, I've just moved my hedge basically just below that propulsion gap. So it's just under a 50% retracement. So what I'm looking for is if we're going to go long, I need that to be supportive. If not, I need that propulsion move before the open to be supportive. If that isn't, and we break that, I want to hedge it tighter because I've got far too much. I got in far too late on that account. So I'm just readjusting my hedge from here up to here because I've got in up here, which is obviously miles away. So I'm just adjusting the hedge distance, if you like, up because it's slipped too far. So because this price action is really weak today, so just keeping an eye. Aussie dollar CAD, that's extended on the hourly. So I'm in this one already, got 2 positions on. We're still pushing. Canadian dollars, not great strength, obviously, off the back of this oil move. Let's look at oil first, actually, because we've got to talk about the CAD. This low, we didn't invalidate it yesterday. We hit it yesterday. So we got down there yesterday. We tapped into it. We bounced, and it looked beautiful. We bounced straight into the previous day's high and sold off massively, straight down to the previous day's low and stopped. So yesterday's price action was a complete A shape. So we basically, there's the high and the low of the previous day. We opened up, hit the high, hit the low, reset. So we haven't gone anywhere yesterday, but it was a big, big move. So when you look at the actual distance that we put in yesterday, it was 300 pips. Yeah, it's ADR. So we did ADR yesterday, but we didn't go anywhere. So it is still holding this low. My stop losses on this were 0.25%, a quarter of an ADR beyond ADR. So they were just under 125 ADR from yesterday. So my stop's down there on these 2 positions. So if we do get another drop on oil today, that market structure long is invalid. Yeah, we're looking for a higher low. We got it. We're waiting for a higher high. We're not getting it. If this goes lower low, we're coming down here. So I'm going to get out of those, and then I will decide what I do based on what price action I see happening at this level. Hopefully we'll get a bounce up, but as you can see, structure's shifting south, isn't it? Which isn't really what we're expecting from oil. We're expecting it to rally off the back of conflict. So it's moving today, okay, but we'll see what happens with that one. So DAX is rallying, FTSE's rallying. 53.024. So I just need to check what the profit is on that move. 540, 550. That puts me $100 over. That's good. Okay. So yeah, so we're bearing that in mind when we're looking at Aussie dollar CAD. Obviously, the Canadian dollar rallies with oil, and oil has dropped. So we've had this strength on the Aussie and New Zealand coming through with some decent news. We've had weakness in oil weakening the Canadian dollar. Yesterday, we had the US dollar weakening the Canadian dollar. So the Canadian dollar is impacted by oil and US dollar movement. So it's obviously rallying because we've got a weak CAD at the moment. So just waiting for normal market structure pullback. So pretty much the same as that trade there. I'm just waiting for a decent pullback, basically, to retest the previous support area to get out of that one. But that's nicely extended. So if you're not in it, there is a 4-hour RSI extension at the moment. Getting close to TP on the DAX. Aussie dollar Swiss also extended on the 4-hour. Big move to the upside there. I've got 3 on that one. at the moment. So that's a 4-hour RSI extension. Very big move, this. Lovely move. So there's your initial structure break and retest. There's your W pattern. Yeah, we haven't pulled back at all on this move. So we had a tiny little flag break in the middle of it. That's it. So we're waiting for a profit takeoff of this. We've just tapped straight into that previous week's high and reacted perfectly at the high. So there's a lovely bounce happening there. So hopefully we'll get that retracement coming off of that level. I'm just going to adjust my TPs on this one. Back down. So you're looking for that propulsion gap as a TP exit now. Just moving my target up from the initial TP level on that entry. So I was looking for a quick shot down to there. Then we had another one. TP was left in the same place. Now I've put a third position on. I can target that level to get out with a break even, or that level to get out with a profit. That's where we previously added to those long positions. So that's where I'm looking for either a range to form or a bounce play to happen for a new leg up. Aussie dollar yen. So all the yens we know extended to the upside. So there's lots of 4-hour RSI extensions on these yens. This is all down to the Japanese. Up to you guys. Pump it or don't. Up to us. It's nothing we can do about it. So I like them all short. Why is this taking so long? This is a massive move on the DAX. It looks like a massive move on the DAX, but it's just so... This is going to pull back in a minute. We haven't gone anywhere. It's just the thing that's concerning me about this, as you can see this morning, is the speed of this move. It's just slow and grindy, and I just get the feeling any minute now it's just going to go, no, I can't do it anymore, and it's going to fall. And I'm getting a bit close to TP. I just don't want to just let it all go. And the fact that I'm slipped on it as well is just annoying me this morning. So I think I'm just going to watch this candle. If this candle starts to go bearish, I'm just going to take that off. So I'm just watching basically for price action to see if we go south. Oh, target hit. Evaluation passed. Close, quick. There we go. So I'm flat, I'm out, and I'm passed. There we go, 54K. Can't see that because this terminal for some reason has gone absolutely massive. There you go, 54K. So that's stage one passed. In 3 days. Oh yeah, so funded in a week. I just got funded in... when did I start? 30th of October. 30th, 31st, 1st, 2nd. Funded in 4 days. I won. Okay. So flat on that. We'll do stage 2 this afternoon. TP hit. Break even. Nice break this morning in the end. After that, what looked like it was going to stop and be a slug. So there we go. So 0.73 banked and 0.5% running as a runner. See if we can get any more movement on that this morning. Where did I get to? Yen. So Aussie dollar yen extended on the 4 hour. Obviously, we know all these yens ready to come down at some point soon. And Aussie dollar, US dollar. Obviously, the Aussie dollar, we've basically stalled out here. So the last entry I had was back here. Actually, I had one there as well, look. So I've had a couple of decent trades off of this. We've got a very obvious range low formed now. We've got multiple peaks to potentially form a range to the upside. Yeah. So, woohoo. Wow, we're off. Sorry. We just had some news. Something's just happened. Indices are off the chart. We're off. We just had some earnings out. Dow Jones specifically is off the charts. Huge push on the Dow. Don't know what quite has happened there. I don't know if something's just kicked off in Israel. That looks like the US dollar might have just had a big drop or something. I don't know. Something's just happened. That is probably an earnings just gone in, I suspect, because it's US based. Look, it's one of the Dow stocks has just had earnings out, I reckon. Who have we got pre-market today? Might be Lilly. Hasn't come up on here yet though, so I suspect that is it's either something to do with the war or that's an earnings report. I'm just going to move my stop to 2R. I'm just going to lock 1R in because we're moving so fast. We're going to get a pullback on this, so I'm just locking a bit more profit in. What is 1R? 222. I'm just going to manually change this. So I'm just going to trail 1R on the DAX. Because this is going to pull back. Saying that, might just go screaming straight up to 5R today. Move my TP down below that monthly level. Good moves. Very nice this morning. Where was I? Aussie dollar, US dollar. So yeah, Aussie dollar, US dollar, obviously we're forming potentially part of a range here. US dollar's just had bad news off, well, not bad news off of FOMC, it's just had weakness off of FOMC. Aussie and New Zealand all having good news. So we're breaking up. We've got a lovely resistance coming up, which we're reacting at potentially now. We've got 3 more or 4 more. Internet's gone. Oh, am I back? Internet went off then. So I just need to check am I on? I think I'm live. Can you hear me? Is everybody there? Just out of a disconnection, basically. We've got storms in the UK at the moment. Like we're obviously getting hit by a. Oh, it's gone again. No, it's back again. Ooh, what's going on? We got hit by a. We're getting hit by today a huge named storm. We've just had 100-mile-an-hour winds, and we've got the worst of it coming this afternoon. So I've had power flickering this morning. The lights have been flickering on and off. Whenever we get storms in the UK, like lots of rain, which we're getting at the moment, our internet seems to go a little bit dodgy. Well, mine does anyway. And I think it's obviously to do with just water ingress into the ground, and all the pipes are underground, obviously. So there's obviously some dodgy cable somewhere. So if I disappear, it's probably because we've had a power cut, just to let you know. So we've got a named storm hitting us. Let me just catch up on the chat before I move on with these. My SIH only placed 1 buy on the DAX. Pass. Have a look at your log or your expert and journal tab and see what it says in there. Am I trading the FTSE now? No, I'm not trading it. I'm watching it though, because the FTSE helps the DAX move and vice versa. Because we obviously the FTSE opens at the same time as the DAX in the UK, so we get lots of sector purchasing happening from the UK and from Germany at the same time. So if there's a big move in the FTSE, Usually you'll find some of those stocks will overlap with the same sector in the DAX, which means you get a bit of movement there. So you can use the FTSE as a bit of a clue. If the FTSE is basically bouncing and not able to get anywhere, and the DAX moves up and then stalls, and then the FTSE suddenly drops, you'll usually find there's a bit of weakness comes through in the DAX and vice versa. So you can use them in the same way as we do in the afternoon. Yeah. So in the afternoon, I'm constantly watching all three of these guys for clues, because if suddenly that drops and that sits there like that, either that is going to drop soon or that is going to bounce back. Yeah, because these two move very much in sync, and the Dow will obviously do very similar. So you see we've had the biggest move, so that I can tell that this is a sector purchase of some stocks in the Dow at the moment, because the Dow has had a massive move. These have had smaller moves, which means that the stocks in these indexes who share the same sector as whatever's just been bought in the Dow also benefit. There will also be stocks in the DAX that benefit from somebody buying whatever's just been bought in the Dow. So they all move in a similar way, but different, if you see what I mean. So they give you a clue. They've all got confluence to their movement. So if you suddenly see this thing put in 3 down candles and this put in 3 dojis, either that's going to drop or that's going to pop. Something's coming because there's divergence across the two. Same with the FTSE and the DAX, because obviously all the liquidity normally is going through in the morning. It's a little bit different at the moment because we're in earnings fortnight. So we're getting US stock earnings overnight, which obviously the overnight algorithms in the Globex session in CME are all acting on. So a little bit of a different situation at the moment. Right. Would you recommend the opening range breakout or the SIH EA for the DAX on the London session? There isn't a better. They basically both EAs do a similar thing. The opening range breakout EA has a lot more options for what you can do. So the opening range breakout EA, you can trade multiple different ranges. Yeah. And you can take multiple trades. You can have a continuous mode set where if the first one doesn't work, you can ask it to try again. So replace the order. So if you go long and you get stopped out and it pushes back into here, you can say go long again if you get another break. So this has got more. This is more versatile. You can fine tune this to your trading style a lot more. The stock index Hedge EA does a similar thing. Obviously, we're still working on the open with this, but this will only ever take 1 trade a day. So you get it, happy days like today, or you don't, you get hedged. And that hedge is then dealt with throughout the day based on the rules that you set. And that's it. You only take that 1 trade. So today, that's it. As soon as I hit the stop loss on that, that's it. I'm done. There's no more trading. On the stock index Hedge EA, on the opening range breakout EA, you can take more trades. If conditions are right for a new setup, a new breakout setup on that initial range, it will trade it again for you. If you've got continuous mode set. All I would say is go and watch the videos on the website on the opening range breakout EA and the stock index Hedge EA. They both explain the logic, how they work and what they do and why. So pick the one that suits you the best. There isn't one that's better. Some days the opening range breakout EA will make more money. Some days the stock index Hedge, well, actually the stock index Hedge will not necessarily make more money, but the opening range breakout EA has more chance of losing in a whippy day. The stock index Hedge will only lose once. But if you have a breakout which hits target, comes back, and then goes and breaks out again and hits target, the opening range breakout EA will take 2 trades and win twice. The stock index Hedge will only do it once. You know what I mean? They're just different. It's the same concept. It's the open. We're looking at the pre-market range and we're looking at the 5-minute initial cash balance. And we're using that fast movement and directional bias that gets generated, the momentum that gets generated to make money. There's no right or wrong way to trade it. because you don't know what it's going to do each day. The whole edge of the strategy is it works because you don't know which way it's going to go. There is no indication when that opening bell goes whether we're going long or short. It will go one way or the other, or it won't. And if it won't, it will do that. It will go into rotation. But that's all explained on the website. There's actually the opening range breakout strategy is in the strategies section when it loads, which explains the theory behind the strategy, the types of days that you get within indices and all that information. And the video obviously explains about the ORB EA. So that's all the basics. The stock index hedge is kind of a more advanced version of it to simplify the whole thing down into yes or no. It makes it binary. We either get the break as we have today, and we make money, and we're done for the day. That's it. We walk away and do something else. Or we hedge, and it buys us a few hours to have a look and see what happens and think about it. So one is a fast scalping, in, out, keep having a crack. One is a, yeah, didn't work. Let's sit back and relax and wait and see what happens. So which one you should use is based on your trading style. But it's not really something anybody else can answer. Stopped out on the second half, so 1600 bank. Not stopped out on that account. Sorry, another account. I've got 3 accounts running this strategy now. Funded in a week, smiley face. I'm not bragging. It's all luck. If you get funded in a week, it's luck. If you get funded in 2 days, it's luck. If you get funded in 2 weeks, it's luck. If you blow your account, it's unlucky. Nothing you can do about it. The market decides whether you pass evaluations, not you. The pre-market range on my SIH went back the whole market rather than just 6 bars as recommended using IC markets. No idea. The logic doesn't work that way. There's something wrong there. Do you know what? I've had very few people contact me with any problems with the stock index hedge EA. Everybody that has contacted me has had one thing in common: IC markets. So I would just say try a different broker. There's something with IC markets. Some people with IC markets are saying that it doesn't take trades in one direction. Some people are saying it won't trade at all. Some people, like you've just, no one has mentioned anything about it taking a range any further than 6 bars back. It can't do. The logic in it says, check that candle. If that candle is below a level, do the next candle. And it counts from 1 to 6. When it gets to 6, the logic stops. It physically can't go any further. The logic and the coding doesn't allow it. IC markets, for some reason, breaks everything. I don't know why. They also, I think it's IC markets that fix the lots, so you can't trade in micro lots. Doesn't work. You know, just there's certain brokers out there which you just need to run away from, and I think it might be something to do with that, Rob. But if you want to send me your set file, I can have a look at it, but I can't test it because I haven't got an account with IC. Morning XR Update.news. Thanks for subscribing, Jose. Welcome aboard. Would it be what? Would it be private to ask which prop firm you're trading on FTSE? That was Alpha Capital. Stage 1 with Alpha Capital Day Trader FX. There you go. Look at that, me answering the same question. 2 questions with 1 answer. How good am I? Gutted I didn't get filled on that today. Should have left my buy limit in. Yep. Morning, Laceron. Morning, Greg. Yeah, I'm here. Good. That's good. Aussie 200 hedged yesterday and had no opportunity to bounce out. Aussie 200 exited at 2R today. There you go. See? Yesterday, 1R loss. Today, 2R positive. That's the edge. You're going to have losing days. Are you able to create an EA based on the opening range breakout with my specific criteria? Not really. Don't do coding for people. I build for myself, and then people can buy it if they want it. If the opening range breakout EA doesn't do what you want, I don't know what else there could be. I'm happy to look at it, but you're better off just going and finding a coder to do it for you. If I mean, I've done extensive, as in 6 months of solid investigation, testing, back testing, forward testing, data analysis into the open of the stock markets. And I personally think my products are exactly what you need to do. But there's more than one way to crack an egg, as they say. Other than the EA video, is there any content you have on SIH? No. There's not much else you can really say about it. It hedges, basically. It's exactly the same as the opening range breakout EA, except it just hedges instead. And you just pick a level and hope that it bounces. Or you just take that loss. No other content on it. Thought feeder, I use IC markets, works really well. Sometimes if the price is pressing right on the edge of the range at the open, it might only get one trade on, but today it worked perfectly with both longs. Yeah, so I've experienced that as well. And it's basically, it seems to be a broker requote which causes that. I'm not quite sure why. But there you go, Thought feeder's using IC markets and he's having no problem. So going back to what Rob said, was it Rob? Sorry, I'm going back through chat. And Ryan, you got two people using the same broker having different experiences. You're going to have this all the time. This is why I'm running 2 different versions of Robo Forex, so I can test all of this. I got on Robo Forex Prime today, I got slipped by 1.2 pips. Today on here, I got slipped by 3.9 pips. So this is an ECN account with Robo Forex. That is a Prime account with Robo Forex. The difference is 2 pip spread, 2 pips of slippage rather. On the same instrument using the same EA with the same settings, I'm getting slipped 2 pips difference with the same broker. You're just not going to get the same results every day. It's just not what happens. This market doesn't do that. Different fills, different accounts, it's just all different. It's life. Deal with what you get rather than hoping you'd got what you wanted. Basically, that's life, isn't it? Morning, Tony. With the spread jumping up and down around the open, that's IC markets. Don't know if it's affecting the range problem. Yeah, it could be. It's a broker thing. Basically, you'll see whenever you look at any EA that runs on overnight moves, so there's lots of kind of what they call them night scalpers. They operate in the Asian session. All of the people that trade those types of strategies and HFT traders will all say to you, broker is the most important thing. Because the only way you make money in HFT and the only way you make money in Asian scalping systems is if you have tight spreads and you have fast execution. This is no different. We are trading at the most volatile second of the day. If your broker is crap, laggy, slippy, sluggish, requotes you, it ain't going to work. You need a fast broker with good market execution. There's nothing you can do to test that apart from test it. Try the broker out with live funds on a live account. You're going to get totally different results in a demo condition than you are in a live condition. And as I've shown here, yeah, 2 accounts, both running with Robo Forex. This is a Prime account. The other one's an ECN account. Both getting totally different fills. Same broker. You just got to try different brokers. If you're finding you're getting screwed and it's just not working properly with one, just use a different one. There's nothing I can do to change the way it works, really, because it's got to work in the way it works. It's got to do those calculations. Yeah, it can only do the calculations. The second that candle opens, everything happens. All the calculations on pre-market, let's look at that candle. Is that right? No. Okay, well, let's try that one. Is that? No, let's try that one. Okay, that's right. So this is all working. Brilliant. Okay, calculate the lot size quickly. Now place the orders. It's got to do all of that in the time that candle, before that candle moves. There isn't another way to do it. That's just how it has to happen. This is the whole edge of the strategy. So you've got to have fast execution. And any broker that's going like that with their spreads, you're just going to get requoted and it's just going to be a nightmare. So I can vouch for Forex Prime. That account is working way better than this one. So that's why I've put the money into that one at the moment. And I'm going to probably switch this one over as well. Darren, okay, thanks. I must say you're the most sensible person on YouTube. I've never been called sensible before. Do you have to know which cent account brokers are out there? Forex, yeah. Other than that, I don't know. Just Google, really. But Forex do cent accounts. The problem with Forex cent accounts, if you're thinking of stock index trading, is they only allow FX. So if you're trading with a cent account, you can't trade stock indices on them. You can only trade FX pairs. So if you want to trade indices, you'd need to find another broker that does cent accounts. Yes, Dion just said best thing to do is forward test the SIH on a demo account for a couple of months and decide. Yeah, I mean, trouble with a demo account is you're not going to get the same execution because they're not going out to any pools to fill the orders. So the execution is faster on a demo account. And your spreads are tighter because they've got no reason to spread because they're not looking to make money out of a demo account. So they just give you a nice tight spread. They give you fast execution. They give you great trading conditions because they want you to use a demo account and go, wow, this is amazing. I'm going live. That's the whole purpose of demo accounts, is to suck you in. Can I have a look at pound odd? Yep. We're going on to pound odd. I'll carry on with the analysis. Euro odd, 4-hour RSI extension to the downside. Beautiful support bounce, potentially. Coming up at that second, that's 2 week ago's low. Sorry, 3 week ago's low. RSI is nicely extended, so we're looking just for that bounce back. Yeah, retracement into this leg. So the difference here is for the last 2 weeks, we've kind of been sort of bouncing around here. We've now broken down. So as we are pushing back up, there is potential that we might run into resistance here. So this area here that was resistance that became support. Potentially we could get that sort of movement back down into either there or all the way back down into that low, which is 150 ADR. So it's potentially a good long opportunity today to push back up into that area. If we're going to continue market structure, it's very clear. We're looking for that. So nice opportunity to go long. If that trade doesn't work, you'll be adding on the way back down into that support and then get out on that massive leg there. Pound odd, very much the same. So that's extended on the 4-hour, also extended on the hourly. The move is pretty much the same. So the euro odd and the pound odd, you're going to find they look very, very similar. They move very similarly. We've got that support coming up. So potentially same thing. Could do that. Could just continue to collapse down. So the difference with this one, obviously, is at 12:30, 12 o'clock today and 12:30 when Bailey speaks. You're going to get a massive move on the pound, potentially. So today, if that interest rate comes out today at 5.5 instead of, 5.5 instead of 5.25, we're potentially going to get a big run on the pound because it's unexpected. The market has factored in 5.25 as an interest rate. If we don't get it, their positions will be underwater. They will need to add into those positions to get out. So we'll need to get some kind of positive move potentially on that. So you could find yourself on a 200 ADR move, which means we're back up here this afternoon. If we get the 5.25, don't know. It's difficult to tell. So if you're going to get into something like this today, obviously you're getting in ahead of news. So it's either going to go yep or no. So you're going to need to scale in pretty quick on it. So a little bit of a risky one to take today, but a lovely support coming up, that monthly low. So we have just broken out of the range, as I said. So it's exactly the same as the euro. Odd. Same thing. So we're just bouncing out of this support area. This is an area of balance previously that we're just playing with. We've just broken out. So this is either price discovery to the downside, which will fail and we'll come back up into the range and then try and go long, or it's a price discovery which will succeed and we'll just carry on tanking. Pound's not doing well at the moment. We're still rallying on the indices. Still in on that account. 5.5%. Very nice. It's over leveraged, that one, because it's only a tiny account. So yeah, good looking bounce opportunity. Nicely extended on the hourly as well. In fact, I might get into this one today. The EA will probably trigger me into this. We are extended now, aren't we? We're not extended enough. So, you know, the EA takes readings from closed candles. Although this is below the RSI here, it isn't closed below the RSI. I need a 25 or lower signal here. So I need this to push down a little bit more in the next hour, 10 minutes really, to trigger that alert on the RSI. And then the EA is going to get me in on the next 5-minute reversal alert. So I'll be taking this long today as long as this stays down. So that's where my entry will be at the moment. But we'll see what happens. So I'll be getting into that one long today. The only other extensions we've got are the New Zealanders, because of obviously the rally that we've had off of the news. So New Zealand dollar CAD extended to the upside. That's straight into that propulsion gap. And that's the one that's hit ADR today as well. And they've sold back out of that move. Not a great propulsion gap because it's in the middle of a move. Propulsion gap should be accumulation breaks. So those are the ones you want to pay attention to, not the ones that happen just as we're moving. They're just part of a move, basically. But they have sold out of that level. French manufacturing PMI has just come out slightly above forecast. Not a lot. Sorry, just in some Japanese news. Economic package, primary balance, completely defeating deflation. We're not in a position where we can say deflation won't return. Just waiting. Just wanted to see if there's anything about FX moves. There's not. 8:45. So he's still talking. So Suzuki's talking at the moment. We might have something come out about FX moves in a minute. So just we'll have a look at that in a sec again. So yeah, nice big extension there. So looking for a pullback on that one. So that's just extended on the 4-hour. Again, any 4-hour ISO extension you can get a pullback on. So drop down M5 and look for the reversal alerts. You had one already on that one this morning up here. So that was a reversal alert this morning. Didn't get one there. So yeah, so that was your reversal alert this morning on that candle. Initially, we've got New Zealand dollar Swiss 4-hour RSI extension. That's also extended on that. That's a nice extension above the 75 on the 4-hour. This is a lovely move. I got out of this way too soon. Look, I exited half my longs there and the second half there. You know, had another 3/4 of an ADR out of it really, but was in it for a while. So I was in that for 2.5 weeks. So I just wanted to get out and take the profit really. But this is a very big, strong move. We've had no pullback whatsoever on this move. So if you look at this long term, this is our first kind of sustained move above the 72 MA where we rallied up, but then it undid the move literally 2 weeks. This is the climbing up the stairs, falling down the elevator shaft that I keep talking about. That's just how the market moves. We take ages to get somewhere and then we undo half that move literally in a couple of days. It's just done. It's profit take. So there's a good chance that is going to start a new leg from this 24.72 zone back down. So whenever we're in a trend, if the trend is going to continue, flip a coin, I have no idea. But if the trend is going to continue, the 24.72 zone is where trends bounce. Yeah, where we are now. So if it's a trend continuation, that's a nice short. If it's not a trend continuation, and we've put in a double bottom and we're going to reverse trend, we'll be taking that high out. Market structure will shift back that way, in which case then if you get in there and it doesn't work out, you'll be scaling in until we get up to that high, and then you'll get out when they profit take that move there. And New Zealand US, which obviously is rallying against the US at the moment. So we need to see what's going to happen with this US dollar. Market wasn't happy about it yesterday, obviously. So we'll see what happens. But potentially this is now put in a new high. So structure shifting back to the upside, but we know that we're in a downtrend. So again, the 2472 area is typically where trends will retest and start new legs. So we're in the danger zone for going short, but there was absolutely nothing massively bullish in the US statement last night. There was nothing massively bearish either. So it's neutral. New Zealand dollar is very much a hit and miss currency. It gets strong, gets weak, gets strong, gets weak. So I suspect the most of the movement on this is going to be caused by news on the New Zealand and Aussie pairs rather than the US. But it's extended on the 4 hour. So if they've moved it up, they will want to get out of some of that. So there is an opportunity to go short, but it's only just extended. Yeah. So the 80 level for me on the 4 hour is the one. If you're going to, if you wanted to get A+ setups, the 80 is what you're after. Yeah. When we hit the 80 level, it's rare, very rare that we do not get a dramatic pullback, climbing up the stairs, falling down the shaft. That one, they fell down the elevator shaft, but yeah, you get the point. Yeah. So it's a very weak extension, and it could just accumulate and push up, in which case if it accumulates, RSI is going to just do that sort of thing while it's pushing. Indices not stopping today. Out far too soon on that pullback. I'm not out on this one. Still in it. So still trailing. 5-hour target is on the way, look. Nice gain on that. 6%, 6.5% so far. Not there yet, but on its way. So that account was $750. So I only started this account on the 26th of October. It's done 24%. It's risking 2% per trade because it's a small account. I'm over leveraging it slightly just to grow it quickly. But 24% in 2 weeks, basically, isn't it? Good. Markets are being kind at the moment. They won't be kind for long. Every time you get a good run, they have this habit of kicking you in the arse. And then they kick you again. And then they wait until you're on the floor. And then they kick you again. France 40 locked in at 2R. Cool. Good job. I've not traded that yet. I haven't got a broker that's got the France 40. So it's not one that I can even look at. Just don't have it. Might have it on Axie, actually. I might have a look at Axie again. Got terrible spreads, though. They did have. I might have a look at it again. I need to find another broker that's not... This ECN's not great, this account. That Prime account's very good, but this one's not. Which account from Robo Forex did you say was best? So Prime. So Prime accounts. It's 1 to 300 leverage, which is enough. Plenty. German unemployment rate unaffected, 5.8. Looks like Suzuki might have finished talking now because he hasn't said anything for 15 minutes. Right, that's it. That's all the FX analysis done. There's a few opportunities there. The Aussie CAD, Aussie Swiss are the best for us 4-hour RSI extensions. The only ADR so far is New Zealand dollar CAD today. But as I said, it's probably not the best day to be getting into it. We're not best session to be getting into anything new because we've got that pound announcement coming out. The whole market will go nuts off the pound this afternoon. Just realized I've got a pound Swiss in profit. I'm just going to lock this in with a break even because I'm shorting the pound. There's a 50-50 chance of a new interest rate increase today. We don't know. If that happens, this is going up there. So I do not want to take drawdown on it. So I'm going to break even that. I probably won't even get honored. If the news is fast, that'll probably get slipped for a little loss. But I do not want to be shorting the pound when we've potentially got an interest rate change going positive, because obviously that's going to rally the pound for a few days potentially. We don't know because we don't seem to get the same moves as we used to now with interest rates. But equally, obviously, if it tanks, I'll be taking profit at 125 ADR. But I'm just going to break even that because there's no point in holding a position knowing that the fundamentals have just shifted on it. So I'd much rather just break even or take a tiny loss on it than have to manage this in drawdown for the next week. So break even on the pound Swiss. I'm just going to quickly put that in Telegram as well. Remind people. Okay. Only got one trade on the DAX. Realized too late to put manual on, and you're on Robo Forex ECN. Yeah, it's a calculation thing, Peter. It's something to do with the speed and the requote and how that system works. I've never experienced it before with any other EA I've ever built because I've never built an EA to trade in such volatility. There's obviously something happening here where under the skin we're getting requoted and we're not able to do TP stop loss calculations and things fast enough for the market and the EA and the broker. I don't actually know what the solution to that is. So I haven't had a single order instead of a double order taken for a while, but I have had them. I don't know how and I don't know why, and I don't know what the solution is to stop it not doing it, or even if there is a solution. I could put some checks in there to say if we're above price that we entered at and there is only one trade, place another one. But the danger in doing something like that logic is, let's say, for example, we trigger one order there and the price candle is moved up to there within literally 2 seconds, 3 seconds, which we know it can do. Do you really want it to place a second order there? Or place a second pending order there that it may never get back to? And then, you know, there's every time you change some logic to try and fix a problem, there's another bit of logic that has to follow to, okay, so if that's happened, now we need to write a notice set conditions to deal with that condition. And it happens so infrequently, it's just not worth trying to solve a problem which is so infrequent. So I don't really know what to do about it, which is, for me, it's not a problem because I'm watching, you know, I'm trading. So if it does do something like that, I can quickly go, okay, if it gets back there, I'll press the button. If not, I'll cancel one of the shorts off because obviously I don't want to get hedged with 2 shorts and 1 long because that's not right, is it? So I would cancel one off. So if you're trading and you're watching it and it's just doing everything for you, not a problem. But if you're leaving it automated, not a lot you can do about it, is there? Still pushing on the DAX. We're approaching that monthly level. Pound odd RSI extension. So there you go. So that pound odd extension is on. So I am going to get into the next 5-minute reversal alert on that. The EA will, rather. So I'm just about to get long on that, which I don't mind too much being long because the options today for the pound are we're at 5.25. We're either going to stay at 5.25, in which case it's probably not going to make a lot of difference, or we're going to go to 5.5, which should rally the pound. So I don't mind taking a long as a first entry. I wouldn't be that keen on taking a short because obviously that 5.5 if that happens, we're likely to run, aren't we? So we'll see. But that's extended, so I'm just about to get the first entry on that one, or the EA will, whenever we get a reverse alert on 5 minute. Other RSIs today. Does Robo Forex FX have any different platforms other than MT4, MT5? I don't know. I only use MT4, so. All platforms. MT4, MT5, RTrader, WebTrader. No, so it's MT4, MT5 only, and their own platform, which is called RTrader, which is basically just a web-based charting platform thing for manual trading. Mark, I can recommend CoinEx. There's loads of brokers out there. I thought CoinEx was more crypto, isn't it? I presume they do the same. Yeah, it's a cryptocurrency trading platform. MT4? You can't trade crypto on MT4. Oh, yes, you can. No, you can. Yeah, of course you can. Stocks you can't trade on MT4. Never used them personally. UK 100 locked in at 2R. Good man, Jazz. I am moving my TP up on the DAX, rather my stop, up to 3.5R, because this is one hell of a rally. We haven't profit taked on this yet. We've literally had one flag break. So I'm just moving my trailing stop under that propulsion gap, literally on the bottom line of that propulsion gap, because that locks in 3.5R-ish. Because for the last 15 minutes, we haven't made any progress. Or the last 10 minutes, we haven't made any progress. My TP is here. So I'm just locking in either that or that. In fact, I might remove my TP and put a tight trailer on it. That's what I'm going to do. That. I'm going to be different. I'm going to put a trailer on it of 176, 175, which is basically the size of that candle. Yeah. So I'm locking in basically a trailing stop like that. If this wants to carry on running and do something like this, I'll go with it. If it's not, I want to get out fast, because this is a big move, and it's likely it's going to have a very big profit take move at some point soon. Yeah, everybody that's long on this at the moment, including me, not that I make any difference whatsoever, they don't even know I exist, but every banking institution that's long on this at the moment in stocks is going to take profit on this at some point, and you're just going to get one of those whacking great elevator shaft moves where you're just not going to get time. By the time you see the candle closed, you've lost half your profit. This is why profit take moves. This is why I keep saying this thing about climbing up the stairs and falling down the elevator shaft. When you're long on something, it takes a long time for you to get here. So we've taken what, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 1 hour, 10 minutes to get there. Yeah. If the banks and institutions are going to take profit, they're going to do it quick, because when they take profit, they will take off half their position, maybe, right? So your P&L will drop by 50%, 1 or 2 candles in 5 or 10 minutes. So it takes an hour to get there and 10 minutes to undo it, because they need to get out fast. So basically, every buy order, they just convert every buy order into a sell order, and it just goes, which is why trailing stops. I use trailing stops, but I only use them when I'm happy to get out. They could rally it further, but I'm happy to get out here. I'm happy to take what I've got. So I don't want to be getting out when that candle closes, because when that candle closes, I've lost half. But when that candle starts to form, I'll lose 10%, 15%. So that's the only time I use trailing stops. So I'm sitting underneath there basically now going, right, if you carry on, yeah, I'll go with you. If you don't carry on, do not take my money. That's literally the only way I use trailing stops, is to get out, because a trailing stop is a guaranteed order to lose, to get you out of that position. That's what it's there for. You're saying, get me out. So I don't use big trailers. I use tight trailers, because the idea is I want to be out of this, because I'm anticipating that happening. Mine got me in GA last night. You must have a different RSI setting to me, because we only got extended beyond the 30 level last night. If you're using the 30 level, then yeah. Unless you've got a different RSI reading to me for some reason. Thanks for subscribing, Gordon. Welcome aboard. Gordon Salvage. I nearly read that as Savage. Are you still in your second half of the DAX long? Yeah. With single entry trades, sometimes I close out early and it's fine, but with 3/4 position trades, always exit too early, miss out on a bunch of profit. Well, there you go. So that's how you deal with that. Just put a trailing stop on it, easy. Asian session breakout we chatted about yesterday is still producing good signals, waiting patiently for Lee's new Asian break, mean reversion gold strategy. You have to send it to me, Mark, in Telegram. Send me the exact strategy that you're using, and I can build an EA to test it. That's why I build EAs. Every EA I ever build, and I've built a lot. I mean, in here, this is scratching the surface. This is just one MT4 terminal of EAs I've built. Yeah. I build a lot of EAs. You can't see that, can you? Well, you can see them all scrolling past. Yeah, you get the idea. There's a load of them down here. They're not built for any other reason than, oh, this looks like a good strategy. I wonder if it works. Back test it over 10 years. No, it's crap. So I'm happy to build an EA. I can build an EA pretty easily. In fact, I could probably repurpose a lot of the logic I've got in ORB for that, because it is a breakout strategy. So, or a breakout mean reversion strategy. Either way, I've got the range coding already done. So if you want to send me in Telegram, just send me all the details, maybe example chart if you can, or just say, take this range at this, do that. This is the stops, this is the TPs, this is how it works. And I can build something to test it. And we can see if there's a long-term edge. But like anything, it's going to give you an idea of the best things to do. It's not going to give you this is exactly what you do. It will at least tell us, if you build an EA, right, and you back test it over a period of a year or 2 years or 3 years, and basically the P&L does something like that. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, first of all. I'm not looking for something that goes like that. I'm looking for something that doesn't lose money. If something doesn't lose money, there's always a way to make it better. Because if it doesn't lose money, there's usually something you can do to improve it. And if you can improve it by removing some of the loss, the way you make money is not by trying to get a better TP or a better anything. It's by removing loss. So if you've got something that produces 0 profit over a 2-year period, if you can remove 10% of that loss, that 10% becomes profit. So it's about eliminating loss, not about trying to make a strategy better. Remove the bad bits. So add a filter. This looks absolutely fantastic. But I've noticed that every time it loses on 25% of those occasions, if we were to only take RSI-based trades, none of those losses would happen. All of a sudden, by adding an RSI filter, you've increased the profitability by 25%. Same strategy, same thing happening. You just add a filter in there to stop it. Making those losses. So I can play around with it. Pound New Zealand ADR. This looks like the pound is coming down into the announcement. So the pound's dropping this morning, which is good because I've got that short on the pound Swiss. Typically, obviously, that's the one that's not dropping, obviously. But the pound's selling off. So this could be a nice little bear trap they're setting up, getting everybody to short the pound ahead of the interest rate. So just be warned. There you go, stalling out on the DAX. So there you go. So that's now 15 minutes. The buyers have tried to push higher, and the sellers are just absorbing every order they're putting in at this price point. Yeah, so this is absorption. So you can just buy as much as you like. There's a bank sitting here going, yeah, bring it on. Just give it. I'll take it. Hey, got any more? Got any more? Got any more? And eventually you're going to go, I haven't got any more. And they're going to go, right. You'll be gone. Absorption. Key futures trading tactic. Every man and his dog are on CAD Swiss. Yeah, I was looking at the sentiment this morning. Aussie New Zealand is 99% short. 99. CAD Swiss 93% long. But that Aussie New Zealand, I was looking at the Aussie New Zealand this morning before I came on because I've got I'm in it obviously at the moment short. So the entire world is short. So I'm waiting for this to come down so that the banks can actually flip this move. But it's stalling out nicely at the moment. But it's been, you know, ever since we did that move, everybody started shorting it. We pushed up, they started shorting it more. We pushed up, they started shorting it more. They pushed up, shorting it more. We need them to stop. Because as soon as they go, screw it, it's going long, that will come down. That will be the profit take move because they'll just buy all the opposite sides of the orders, won't they? But yeah, it's stuck. And the CAD Swiss, opposite. Coming down, everybody's buying it. As I am. But this is the beauty of position trading, isn't it? Yeah, we don't lose an absolute fortune getting it wrong. We just wait for everyone else to get wrong so much that they all get killed. And then the banks go, anybody else got any more? And they go, nope. And they go, all right, fine. We'll go back the other way. And then everyone will start to short it. And they'll just keep pushing it. As you short it, they'll push it. As you short it. Every time you place a stop order, when you go long, they'll short it. And then you'll go long again. Place a stop order. They'll short it. You go long again. You place a stop order. They short it. You go long again. They place a stop order. They short it. You go, this has got to be it. You place a stop order and they go, yeah, this is it. And you go, I'll add. And then they take your stop. And then you just go, screw this. I've lost 7%. I'm going to go short. Okay, we'll go long. Why this is here. If only it were that easy. TMGM got France 40. Don't know who they are. I've not heard of that one. Loads of brokers out there. Just do your research. If you're looking for instruments, just Google. You'll find them. They're out there. 3% profit this morning on the DAX and the FTSE. Good man, James. Well done. Made constant profit for 2 months until I got in revenge mode because last Friday, down day, not bouncing at all. Since then, always doing the opposite of what I actually wanted to do. That always works as well. Until you get onto a losing run, and then you have to do the opposite again to what you did. EA did not get any trades on the DAX. Pass. If you're having problems with it not taking trades and it's working in the strategy tester, it is literally just a liquidity thing at the open. You get if basically if it doesn't take trades on that 15-minute pre because there's some reason it can't get those trades on, it will move on to the 5 and it will trade the 5. If it doesn't trade the 5, you've got a problem. And it's not related to the EA, it's related to the settings you're using, or it's related to your broker not allowing you to use the lot size, or your broker not allowing you to use a stop loss for calculations close to price. There are brokers out there. Every broker's got different rules and regulations. Some of them are just so restrictive you can't trade with them. So you just have to kind of eliminate things if you're having problems, because there will be a reason. And usually the journal and experts tabs will tell you what the problems are. In here, there'll be something. But DAX pushing again. So I'm now trailing further. So I'm locked in now at 4.25. Big day. Wish I hadn't got out. France 40 got 5R SAH live on Global Prime, Australian broker. Yeah, Global Prime I've heard of. A lot of people have used them. There's a hedge fund, prop firm that I used that used Global Prime. I can't remember which firm it was. My long list of MT4s. I haven't got it anymore. Yeah, Global Prime have got pretty good execution. I've never used them properly, but whipping post. He gone. Who gone? Monkey man. Error message. Trouble with catching up on chat is I never know what I'm talking about by the time I get to the chat. Damo, thanks for the SIHEA. Just started using it. I've had my own breakout EA for DAX I've used for a year now. 58.3% on a 94 account this year. Cool. Nice one. With yours, I'm going to have good Xmas. Hopefully. 58% return on a 94 account in a year is good. Still good. Very good. 5 to 6% a month. That's real. That's real world, people. Damo is doing real world. You can make more than that, obviously, but realistically, anything between 5 and 15% a month return is a bloody good result. Indices are, the US indices are starting to show a lot of signs of flagging now. Look, the Dow is just completely stalled out. The S&P is really stalling. The NASDAQ, look at these wicks. Yeah, buyers are just running out. So the DAX has just made a new high. Remember what I said earlier about quite often at the end of a move, you get a big bull candle or a big bear candle, depending if it's a downward move. And that is basically the market eating up whatever's left and going, right, there's no more people willing to do that. And then you get that from. So the fact that we've got no bullish price action happening on the US indices and a lot of bearish signals and the DAX rallying, this might be stall out time. There they go. There's 5R. I got out way too soon. So that's 7% today. Look, 2.35 banked, 5 running. Still running, look. Did 10% yesterday as well. I like over leveraging, it's fun. He says. But I can't make more than a 2% loss per instrument. So worst case scenario on the DAX, I'm only ever going to make 2% loss in the morning, aren't I? But if I can pull out 10% days, as AZ just said, 42% in a month is slightly better. Yeah, I think you're going to find, AZ, as we move on, that 42% I did last month with the SIHEA is probably going to be a little an anomaly. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe I have found the Holy Grail. But the Holy Grail is me, isn't it? I'm not, the stock index Hedge EA is doing what it's told to do, but I am intervening, yeah? I got out here. So today, I have made a bad intervention. I moved that stop loss myself. That was a bad idea for me to do. Yesterday, I made a good idea by getting out of the Dow with $200 profit because it went like that and it would have hedged and it would have locked in a $1,400 loss. So yesterday on that, I made a good decision. That's what made that 42% month. The EA didn't do it on its own, did it? So it's all about looking at your P&L. If that thing's green, I'm taking it. The EA can't do that. This is I keep saying every day. EAs are great for executing strategies, but for making decisions, you need a human being in between it. Mark, live example of Asian break strat, 15-minute gold. New Zealand US ADR. This looks like US dollar weakness. Yeah. So US dollar's weakening, which means gold will be popping. 15-minute gold short. TP 1984.79. We're around there. Right, so the Asian mid-range, that's the Asian range, for me anyway. That's Asian midline. So you basically short as you get out the high. But why? Why do you short? When you're building an automated strategy, it has to be 100% strict mechanical rules. You can't say short it now. Why? Why am I shorting it? Do I short it on candle close? Do I short it when we break down below there? When it breaks above there and candle closes, do I set a pending order to trigger the short? Does it have to be a long wick candle to the upside to trigger the short? There has to be a mechanical set of rules that I can program to say, when this does that, do this. So you can't say short now. Why? It's got to be mechanical. That's what I need you to send me. Send me the mechanical set of rules that triggers the close, triggers the entry. First candle close on breakout. So that candle. So you literally hit the short button as it's rallying, yeah? And assume that we're going to pull back. Where's the stop loss? I need to know where the stop loss is. I need to know, obviously TP is midline Asia. And what's the Asian range? What time does your Asian range end? This is up for debate, right? There's no stop. Well, how do you stop out then? Send me. Don't. I won't do it in here because this will take hours. Send it to me on Telegram. There's a link going across the bottom to Telegram. DM me in Telegram, or send an email. Or send an email via the website. But what was I saying? Completely forgot what I was saying. I need to watch a replay of myself to figure out what I was talking about. But yeah, I've got to have that mechanical set of rules to be able to backtest. Then I can do system parameter permutation tests on different things. But the thing that's what I was talking about, Asian session, right? The stock markets open at 8 a.m. UK and Frankfurt, and 1:30 p.m. at the moment UK, 2:30 p.m. next week UK, right? There is a specific time that the markets in the stock market open. The stocks for trading, indices for trading open at a specific time. Forex market is 24/5. Yeah, there is no open in the Forex market. So I need to know what the definition of the Asian range is, because everyone says it's 8 o'clock. Some people say it's 9 o'clock. Some people say it's 8:30. I can give you 100 charts, and on those charts, you won't be able to give me a time where it starts to move, because every day it moves at a different time. The time it moves is based on the institution sitting there that places the largest order. If they're sitting there having coffee and a donut in the morning and they don't get around to placing the button until 8:15, that day, the Asian session ends at 8:15. So you can't pick a specific time. Well, you can, obviously you have to if you're going to use this type of strategy. But what if the Asian range is like this? So what if that is 8 o'clock? The Asian range is there. So the very next candle is your Asian range breakout. How big or small should that range be? Yeah. again, we can test this. I can build EAs and I can do system parameter permutation tests to test all of this. But the size of that range is going to make a big difference as to whether or not it actually manages to get back to that midline. There's so many parameters that could make it more or less profitable. But that's the key for me. And that's why I've never, all these people that trade the London breakout strategy and all these guys that sell all these courses and profess that they make a load of money on this London breakout strategy, none of them can give me a time. And everybody varies. Everybody's got a different opinion on when is it. This is the thing. So we need to set parameters. And if it's only on gold, again, you can see the volume. If you look at the volume on gold, yeah, volume, you can't really see it, can you? But you can see the volume in the Asian session. I'm just going to draw kind of the volume so you can see it clearer. Right? Can you see an open there? There isn't one. The volume on this thing hasn't changed. This candle here got bigger. So if you look at this candle at 10:30, which is 8:30 this morning, that 8:30 this morning was when the move was made. But yesterday, the move could have been made at 7:30. But there's no volume spike to say on gold, this is when it starts to move. So the danger with this strategy, and this is why the London breakout strategy tends to fail, is that all you're doing is you are literally taking a candle that breaks a high that isn't part of a move that's been caused by the banks and institutions. It's just price action being executed, which is why that has always failed. I'm not being super skeptical about it, but look at this. Look at the volume here, right? Yeah. What's that? New York Open. What's that? New York Open. This strategy should be traded at the New York Open. It shouldn't be traded at the London Open, because gold moves on the New York Open because gold is related to the US dollar. It's a US dollar cross. The New York Open causes a massive fluctuation in US dollar because everybody's buying and selling stocks in the US dollar. And things to test. But I'm happy to look into, I'm always happy to look into new strategies that I've not traded, because I love proving them wrong. I just love to see where the Achilles heel is, because you come across them every now and again and you think, actually, that's got an edge. And the more strategies you can add into your portfolio that have an edge, the more you're going to make long term, because the more diversification you have across different instruments, different strategies, and different time frames, the safer you're going to be. If the market suddenly decides to go, oh, not working well on indices anymore, gold could be your money maker. When gold's not working, you make money out of indices. Are you still pound odd buy trade? Yeah. Nope. Nope. I haven't had a trade on pound odd since there. That was the last entry on the pound odd. I got out halfway in the move. I will be getting in this morning though. Next 5-minute reversal, I'll be going long. We haven't had one yet. That's the current reversal alert there. That will be the entry this morning. At the moment, if it pushes down, that will become the entry. But at the moment, it's not triggered, so. Could you talk a bit about how you're over leveraging that small account? You said your max loss on it was somehow 2%. So basically, all I'm doing is, instead of using 1% per trade, I'm using 2% per trade. Risk. Sorry, I just realized I got TP. I've just moved the TP up to ADR. I'm just going to get rid of it. The TP. Still trailing. 8% on the DAX. I might not even bother trading this afternoon. So just basically with a small account, right? So you're going to get drawdown. With a small account, to try and make a little bit more money, I'm over leveraging it to try and grow the account faster. That's all. So it's a little bit like compounding. I'm just taking a little bit more risk. That's all. Nothing dramatic, just a bit more than normal. So in the US session, there is a possibility of locking in a 6% loss, or maybe a bit more, depending on slippage. But so you could easily have a 6% losing day. You could have an 8% losing day. Yeah. So the risk on that account, because it's running 4 indexes, is 8%. So if I have 4 hedges, none of them exit, that's an 8% losing day. 3 8% losing days on the trot, you've blown a quarter of your account. So it's risky, isn't it? But on winning runs, I've grown the account by 24% in a week. So, but then when it gets to a certain level, probably $1,500 or something, slip it back to normal risk parameters. DAX still pushing, yeah. So still rallying, unfortunately. Oh, good. So there you go. There's ADR, straight into ADR. Big sell order just coming, the Dow as well. Right, so watch the speed. If this is going to be the start of the profit take move, watch the speed of the profit take. This is what I was talking about earlier, yeah? Candle like that. Yeah, and then candle like that. Yeah, you've lost. You've lost half your profit. Look at that. Did you see that flip up then, that gap? Some big orders going in. Big boys just stepped on someone's toes. I feel like after the 40% month, you're just trying to prove you can double an account in a month. That'd be nice, yeah. Not intentionally, but yeah, you can do. This is why I have a problem with people like certain people that sell courses on compounding. I am not an advocate for compounding. It all works well on paper. In the real world, it doesn't, because what compounding does is it makes you accustomed to over leveraging. So people sell compounding courses where they tell you to risk sort of 3 to 5% per trade, which is great, because when you have a little winning run, you can easily add 50% onto your account or double your account in a month very easily. But you're now used to that amount of profit. So you are now preconditioned to this is easy. The next month, you'll have a losing run of 10 trades and you'll blow 50% of that account. You'll be back to square one and you'll be going, crap, that didn't work. I need to up my leverage. And it causes a never-ending cycle, compounding, of trying to become rich quick. This industry does not allow you to become rich quick. Every time you think you're doing well, it turns around and it kicks you in the arse and says, no, you don't realize what we're doing. And you'll get hit. So compounding just makes you over leverage. Additional risk, yeah, is good. But you need to be able to drop that back to normal risk and accept the fact that you're not going to double an account every month. If I could double an account every month, I'd be doing it. So would everybody else. You don't see anybody on Telegram groups or on YouTube that's trading professionally in front of people every day, doubling their accounts. Doesn't happen. There's a reason. Warren Buffett, if you could double an account in a month, do you not think Warren Buffett would be making more than 8% a year on his return, on his billions? No, he'd be making billions on his billions. Just not possible. The market will not allow that to happen. And this is where the prop firms come in. Yeah, about, with the 5% drawdown rule. You will hit that. You will hit 10% drawdown on your account and you will hit 5% in a day. because I just passed an evaluation this morning, 4 days. Took me. How did I do it? By using 2% risk. Am I going to do that on the real account? No. I'm doing it to pass the evaluation as quickly as I possibly can. But when I get the account, that risk drops back down to acceptable levels that have much less chance of blowing the account. Or you can keep it at that level and hope that you can continue that run. But if you do continue that run for 3 or 4 days, stop. Draw that money out. Put it in your bank. Pay your bills and then decide where you want to go from there. That's where everybody goes wrong. Here's the profit take move, yeah? Okay, so if you didn't see what I saw there and you're now watching this, you've just lost 23% of your profit. You're on your way to losing 38% of your profit, right? In 10 minutes. It's taken an hour and a half to do that. It's taken 10 minutes to wipe 38%. One hasn't done it yet because it hasn't got there, but this is climbing up the stairs. Profit take. This is why when we get moves like this, why I'm tightening and tightening and tightening, because you want to get as much as you can out of this thing when this thing decides it wants to pop. Yeah. This is panic selling because everyone's seeing their P&Ls, yeah, drop. 6 point. This is what's happening in the banks. Yeah, people are watching. 6.14, 6.17. Oh, I'm not trading the Dow. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not on the Dow. But if I was on the Dow now, this would be going 6.14, 6.12, 6.1, 5.94, 6.1, 5.8. And you're thinking, shit, I need to get out. You will sell. And by selling, you add to the selling pressure, which adds to the selling pressure. More people then panic sell. And that adds to the selling pressure, which makes what? The sell happen faster because everybody's doing the same thing. We're all sheep. This is why the profit take moves that wipe out 50%. And that's why I said on that US dollar yen, you will find a 50% retracement on that move within 48 hours. Because everybody that's long on this thing, yeah, when some banks start to exit, other banks will go, we better take a bit of ours off, guys. And then other banks will go, hang on, some of the banks have taken some off. We better take some of ours off, guys. And then someone will go, shit, if we don't take it off quick, it's all going to disappear. They'll put a whacking great order in, which panics everybody into doing what? Taking 50% profit off their trade, which is why Fibonacci works. Just logic. It's human beings at the end of the day pressing buttons. That's all it is. All it ever has been. But everyone's trying to find some clever magic system or strategy that's the holy grail to decipher what the human beings in the banks are doing, which is basically pressing buttons based on their own psyche. You can't build a system around that. It's pure logic and it's pure chaos and it's pure randomness. That's all it is. Risk and reward. Have you used the RoboForex Pro account before with zero commission? No, because the Pro account will have high spreads and variable spreads. Try it, but the Pro account, you'll find the spread. Basically, every broker has to make money somehow. If they don't make money on a commission, they make money on a spread. Yep. So the commission accounts are actually better because for scalping because you get tighter trading conditions and faster execution. Speaking of prop firms, any recommendations? Been debating between FTMO and ACG. If you go onto my website, there's a comparison page here, trader funding. That has got a load of prop firms which you can do a comparison between to see things. I haven't updated this for a while. I don't think there's anything different on it, but they're all the same. So choose whichever one you want. I go with the one that's got the deal on. So the reason I'm with that one at the moment is because they gave me 25% off. So I took it. Basically. Dope rec. And then there's ICT. Yeah. Nothing wrong with ICT. Yeah. I know nothing. It's all random. It's all random. You can create a course on anything, but at the end of the day, it's all random. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen, right? Because all you can do is go off of what you've seen in the past, what you've seen in the past happening, repeating itself. Whether it will happen this time or not has the same odds every time you look at it. Yeah, the market has three constants: up, down, and sideways. It moves through time and it goes up and down. Your odds, by the sheer fact that that is the three constants of trading, can never be more than 50% every time you press that button. There is nothing, no indicator, no strategy, no system on the planet that can increase those odds for you. The opening range breakout and the stock index Hedge EA have a 50% strike rate. Yeah, you either do get hedged or you don't get hedged. It either does go break long or it doesn't go break long. It's binary. Yeah. When it goes up, it comes down by a percentage. Then it goes back up again. No idea. Could be an A-shaped recovery. Could be a 38 bounce. Could be a 50% retracement. You don't know. No one knows. No one on the planet can now tell you if this is going to bounce off this 38 pullback or if it's going to hit 50. It's going to do one of those two things. So your job now is to do what? Press the buy button or the sell button. What are your odds? 50-50. It's always 50-50. Your job is to control risk. That's it. Out of the DAX, 9.29%. Look at that. Can't because I haven't got it on the screen. 31%. This is on pretty much full auto as well. I'm not really interfering with this much, apart from that trailing stop I just put on today, but not bad, eh? I'll take it. Right. So today, obviously, be aware of the pound. Pound is the big news today. 12 o'clock, we've got the rate, which is either going to be 5.25 or 5.5. If for any reason they drop the rate, the market's going to collapse. So it's not going to happen. Bailey's not going to be that stupid. Sorry, I was just thinking a minute. This is Bailey. It's unlikely to go down to 5%. But 5.25 is, or 5.5 really is a 50-50 shot at the moment. The Bank of England have been very quiet about this. I suspect more likely a 5.5. But if we do get that, 5.25. But if we do get that 5.5, we're going to get a potential rally. Bailey's going to confirm either way once that rate comes out what the forward guidance is, and that's when the market's going to move. So typically you'll see the proper move kick in somewhere between 12:45 to 1 o'clock during that press conference or just at the end of that press conference. To throw another spanner in the works, we've got the unemployment claims coming out at the same time as Bailey speaking. So you're going to see a big move in the pound US dollar, for example, but you're not going to know whether it's because of what Bailey's doing or whether it's because they're buying or selling the US. So it's going to be a very tricky afternoon. The US indices we'll have a look at this afternoon and see how they've moved. But at the moment, it's just wait and see, really. So any pound pairs you've got on and you've got exposure on, you can either protect them with a break even or just take them. If you want to put that down there now, you know you've got it. It's yours. That is either going to go higher or to zero. If you put a break even on, you're either going to lose 160, in my case, dollars, or you are going to win more. It's a 50-50. So if you're uncomfortable, bank it. If you need it, bank it. If you want it, bank it. If you're not bothered, at the moment, I'm not that bothered because I haven't got a lot of drawdown and I've banked some today already. I'll leave it. It's a gamble. So anything you've got pound related, obviously, just be aware it's going to move this afternoon. Which way, we obviously don't know. Pound odd, I'm still not in. We are still pushing down. So reversal alert is now higher up. So that's my entry. Hopefully we get that triggered before the news. If that triggers on the news, imagine that being a 5.5 interest rate increase, and that's the candle that triggers your reversal alert. You are going to get in long there. So again, another reason for watching what's going on. If you get triggered on a long up there, I would probably close it, because there's a good chance it's going to at least retrace half of that, and then we may have Bailey talk it down, and you're in with a long there, and you're having to take a second long, one ADR apart, just because there was a whacking great candle on news. So just use your heads, basically, on any pound pairs. This is the only one extended on RSI at the moment. So if you're using the market reversal alerts EA, this is the only one that's potentially going to trigger today anyway. So, all right. So I'll be back at 120. We'll have a look at what's happened with the pound. We'll have a look at what's going on with the US indices. Other than that, hopefully we'll get some movement this afternoon. We shouldn't get an awful lot more this morning. So exactly, at the end of the day, it's gambling. All we can manage over the market is risk. Exactly, yeah. As I see your gain on the stock index hedge and start it myself, I'll have a losing run. Probably. But that's the beauty of the stock index hedge strategy. Your losing run is what? Whatever you set. If you set 0.5% per entry, you're losing 1% risk. You're locking in 1%, 2%, 0.5%, whatever it is. So if you have this afternoon, every single one of those indexes this afternoon hedges 3%. That's the worst case scenario. And well, it's not the worst case scenario. It's the initial worst case scenario. If two of them hedge and one of them runs, you break even. All you're looking for is out of 3 indexes this afternoon, one of them to break out clean to 2R, it gets rid of those 2. That's the beauty of the strategy. It's the portfolio approach. That's why it works. Because we're not trading that or that or that or the DAX. We're trading the indices. Our goal is to come out with a profit. So if that locks in $1,000 loss, that locks in $1,000 loss, that makes 2,000 and that makes 1,500 this morning. Who gives a crap what those 2 did? That one and that one made that. Obviously, that's not real. I'm just making it up. But you know, that's the way you need to approach it. Don't rely on one index. Rely on the portfolio of the stock market to give you that edge. We saw yesterday, didn't we? If you remember, NASDAQ broke long, Dow broke short. Yeah. Then the S&P started to look like it was breaking long. That was the reason I closed that and took a tiny little $200 win on it, $200, $300, whatever it was, because what I saw happening here. My goal was, I'm already long on that. That looks like it's turning long. This one's short. I do not want to lock in a loss. But the worst case scenario yesterday is I would have made 1.7% instead of 2.7 if I'd have let that carry on. Because these 3 added together make the result, not just what happens on one or the other. Should do a video on that, really, shouldn't I? But I do it in here every day anyway, so kind of don't really need to. There you go, just done one. Click that. Right, I'm off. I'll be back this afternoon at 1:20. Anything you need, let me know. I'll be in Telegram. Other than that, have a good morning. Keep your eyes peeled on what's going on, but I don't think anything will happen this morning ahead of the pound, but we'll see what happens and analyze it this afternoon. Have a good morning. I will see you guys later.